Alright, so a couple days ago, I went back to Uncharted 4 because I've been struggling for like the longest time just figuring out what to play in the future because when it comes to these new games, they just aren't doing it for me. I could play for like a good week or two, then I'll just get bored of it. And then I thought to myself, instead of me struggling trying to find a new game to play, I might as well just re download a game I liked playing back then just to relive the glory days. So I re-downloaded a couple games, and that included Uncharted 4. Uncharted 4 was always strange to me, and what I mean by that was it was always like a mixed bag. There were days I would love to play it. I'd do good in matches. I have fun playing it with friends. Then other days I'll just be super sick of it. I get pissed off. I'll start ranting about all the stuff about the game that'll piss me off. And after all this time, like I don't know, man. I don't know what it is about the game that just doesn't sit well with me. I mean, I made like a big list of like things that just gets to me, like usually on a daily when I play the game. But it's I don't know. This game just didn't hit the same as the old games, to be honest. And it could be just me. It could be my flavor for the game or like my attention span, because it's like the attention span of a brick wall, whatever that means. But I don't know, man. Basically, coming back to this game a couple days ago, I was not having a good time. I mean, granted, I was playing alone most of it, and then I went back to play with my old friend DX, like how we used to when we just made videos back to back. And I did have fun, but I don't know. Playing it alone was really stressful. Like, I was pissed. I kept losing every single match. I would always join a game late in progress, which will always end up me losing. I haven't been so frustrated since like Call of Duty World War II when I had that one challenge where I had to win that one domination match, and I played like 10 plus matches. I still couldn't win. Even when I played the game, nobody was capturing the objectives, and then we just kept losing. And then I don't know why. Like, it's like that same feeling is happening with Uncharted 4. It's not all bad. I mean, the movement is good. Well, it's great. Better than 2 and 3. And honestly, that's probably the only good thing I could really say about that game. The movement was so fluent, smooth. It was easier for you to like, jump around, take cover. I mean, sometimes I get stuck, but that's like any multiplayer game. But had that styled movement been in 2 and three's multiplayer, then honestly, Uncharted 4 will even need to be a thing, to be honest, because the other games were great in its own aspect, in its own way, and you can say the same thing for Uncharted 4, but if 4's movement was in 3, then that game would be top tier. It would just be top notch every single time. I would just never stop ever playing it. Thinking about the game's lifespan, I think it only lasted like maybe, I think 2 years, 2.5 at best, but then when the that spin-off game Lost Legacy came out, that was legit the last update Uncharted 4's multiplayer ever had. And I'm just like, are they gonna add anything more, or was this like the final update? And that pretty much was the final update. There was like I think another little small update about something, but I can't remember. But the last major update was whenever Lost Legacy came out. They added some new outfits, that Asav characters, some new clothing for Chloe and Nadine. I don't know. It just stopped at that point. It just got really boring because it was gonna add anything new to it. Like the game modes was just meh. Like we had plunder, which I never liked plunder to begin with, even though it makes sense for Uncharted. Command, which is basically domination, and I hated that game mode because if it was just simply domination, then it would be fine. But then they wanted to add like a little like gimmick to it, which is what caused me to stop playing it as a whole. So if you haven't played the game, basically, like I said, it's domination. Then at a certain point, they'll make somebody the marked man, and then if you die, the enemies will get the number of points that you've held. So I think the longer you survive, the more points got added. So if you die, the points would just go straight to the enemy team, and then they can end up winning. Consider like how Uncharted 3's power play was, and I think this was actually the last time I played Command because this pissed me off so much. I was fighting multiple people, and then they just made me the marked man out of nowhere. I don't think I even got a warning. I can't remember because I don't want to try the game mode again, and I don't think I can even find a lobby because a lot of people don't even play this game no more. Then you'll find a team deathmatch and maybe bounty hunter, give or take. But I got marked while in like legit the midst of the gunfight, and then I died instantly as soon as I got marked, and then they just won just like that. And I'm like, they didn't even do anything. They got lucky, and that was legit the last time I played Command. Bounty hunter's fine, which is pretty much just kill confirmed. King of the Hill, just King of the Hill. Then they got ranked King of the Hill, and honestly, they should have changed it back to Team Deathmatch because that was a little bit more better, or they should have made it a ranked classic mode. I guarantee you a lot of people would have played that more because, a lot of people was crying out for classic mode, which we've gotten in. I go back to that game mode a good couple times if I don't feel like playing team deathmatch, or if I don't want to deal with the enemy sidekicks. And I still don't even use the sidekicks to this day. I just use the Centimani Stone. That's the only thing I use that's like mystical, or like, those special power ups. Because I was just never fond of how it was, and if they use it, then it's fine. But it just got in the way most of the time. They added the survivor mode. It was fine. I tried to get 100% with a few friends, but it was too hard. And then it kind of got tedious. It got boring real quick. I always wanted the adventure mode because I loved it in 3. And I wanted it a lot more because the story mode never had Cutter in it. They had him mentioned, but he was not in the story. Then I expected him to be in Lost Legacy just to, redeem himself. Still didn't show up there either, and that pissed me off even more. And then there was no adventure co-op mode, and then I'm just like, okay, you guys are just making the wrong decisions here. Like, they could have made something. I don't know. Maybe they wanted to deep down, but they just didn't have enough time, but I don't know. Every match or two I play, I will always join a late game in progress, and then why does that take so long? It takes like a whole minute just to load into the game. Yeah, you can tell when you're about to start when you hear like the background music, and then when it gets to like the climax of it. But it takes way too long. I legit would have rather closed the application, open it back up, and just find the match again, because you just sit there for a long time. And once you get into the match is about to start phase, you can't back out. So you either have to commit to the match or close the application and reset it again. It's like pick your poison. One easy complaint I had was there was basically no progression, no level cap. And a lot of people wanted that to be in the game, which they did add it, which was a good thing, but the only level caps you can see are only the people who are in your party. You can't see like people on the enemy team or just like the whole lobby, which kind of defeats the purpose. Like, what's the point if I can't see anybody's level cap? I want to know who I'm up against, like a really good team or just like, some new people. And then leveling up, like the XP is really slow. Like, even when I played like a lot of matches, like I didn't even get to like the max level cap, the max prestige, whatever you want to call it. Maybe in co-op you'll level up quicker, but I don't think there's even any point to like worry about leveling up because they didn't really add anything, I think, other than cosmetic items, I think. Like, I'm really trying to just like think as hard as I can to what I can remember, but that's how bad it is when you can't remember the simplest things. Every time I get frustrated with Uncharted 4, I just keep thinking I just want to go back to Uncharted 3. I put the game to rest, but honestly, deep down, I still want to play it again. And I'm still mad that they never put it on the Nathan Drake collection. Oh, the game is more than a remastered, but no, it's you really just took out like half the content, or 1/3 of it, because there was also co-op. But you know, playing the story mode was great. I played a lot. I still play 3. I try to speedrun it a few times, or I play on Brutta mode to challenge myself. But I still miss multiplayer. I wish they just brought it on PS4. I would definitely be playing it today. I probably would have been making like another 100 videos of Uncharted 3 multiplayer had it still been online. Honestly, there's really nothing for me to even play on PS3 no more, because a lot of the servers are either like 100% dead or the servers are offline. Like, I can't even connect to Batman Arkham Origins, so I can't make another video on that unless that Error 3 code goes away. So every time I turn on the PS3, it's just, I don't know what to do with it. I don't want to unplug it and just like put it in the closet. I want to get back to it because there's like a lot of games I have that I can go back to, but multiplayer wise, it's just like there's legit no point. So I don't know, man. Uncharted 2 was also great too, but obviously my bread and butter was Uncharted 3. It made me a better gamer. It made my channel a thing, and I just miss it. I will never let it go. But Uncharted 4, it just doesn't hit the same.